Good morning, everybody. It's a lovely Sunday here in Oklahoma, and we are working on a Chevy Tahoe. It's a 2021, and it's a Z92 made by American Luxury Coach. And I'm going to be showing you guys how to replace the crappy, horrible 1970s style freaking colored bulbs, filament bulbs that they decided to give us in our tail lights. Why? I have no idea. Anyway, today we're going to be putting in these lovely red bulbs, LED bulbs from Ala Lighting, like that. And I have thus far already tested and checked the bulbs to see if they are compatible with the car. They work. On the proviso that you install some 50 watt 6 RJ resistors. And basically what that's going to do is tell the computer up front that there is a regular bulb in there and not an LED one, because LED bulbs, as we all know, draw an excessive amount of less power than a regular filament bulb does. So we have to be able to tell the computer up front in the car that it's a regular bulb in there and not an LED one. So I've tested these. I tried the bulbs without the resistors, and as I expected, there was a feedback message on the dashboard with a warning saying check reverse bulb. So I did that, and I also had one saying check right rear signal bulb. So I put the resistors on, and wouldn't you know it, the message has disappeared and I have no hyperflash. So it's really not that difficult to do. Literally all you're doing is taking the signal wire. Here, there's 3 wires on the back of these Tahoes going into the lights on pretty much each one. And what you want to do is when you open it up, you want to take the positive wire and the negative wire. And these are bi-directional resistors, so it doesn't matter which wire you put to which. And you just want to put one wire on your positive and one wire on your negative. You do not want to put them on your inside middle wire. And these bulbs are pretty easy to work on the connectors. You can clearly see which is the outside negative, middle signal, and the outside positive. And it's going to be the same for the brake light bulb, which I'm going to do here shortly, because that also has a horrible tacky filament bulb in there. You'd think, being 2021, that they would give us some LED bulbs. GM, if you watch this video, could you please, for the love of God, when we spend this sort of money on a car, we expect LED bulbs. You know, not being rolled back to the 1960s and 70s where you have painted bulbs in your car for your signal lights. I mean, seriously, come on. But anyway, I will be back shortly, and I will go through the process of how to connect these resistors. Okay, right. 2021 Tahoe rear tail light, LED light conversion. We've got crappy halogen bulbs in there. You know, you pay a lot of money for a truck these days, you expect LED bulbs. Now on these, the only LED bulb is actually the shaped one that runs up and down and horizontal on the tail lights. So basically what we're going to be doing is replacing the brake bulb, the signal bulb, and the reverse bulbs. And I've got these lovely bulbs right here. So we've got the reverse bulb, which is that little square one. It's a cool white. And then we've got this big old beastly red LED bulb with the magnifier lens on to increase the brightness of the bulb. I've also got these ones too. These ones are from the same company. They are the strobe. So you can use these. I'm using these for the brake lights. And I'll show you a video afterwards of the results. But these bulbs are basically made all by the same company. And the company is called Ala Lighting. You can see that there. Now when you order these bulbs, they are the red ones are pretty much the same for the 2021 Tahoe, but you want to make sure that you order one for your brake bulb, which is going to be the strobe one, and they come in pairs, and then one plain red, which is going to be for the signal bulb, because on the 2021 Tahoes the rear signal bulbs are orange. And so basically we're going to be replacing these 3 right here, if you want to do a close-up on those. These are basically what come with the 2021 Tahoes. You think in this day and age we'd have something a bit better than filament bulbs. So we will start with removing the light housing which is going to be on this side. Babe, pop over there. And come in close too so people can see it as well. Is it pretty clear?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. You want to come in over here so people can see? So basically on these tail lights you've got two little panels here. They're pretty easy to get off. The top one just kind of pops out with your fingers like that. And then the second section is literally all on clips. You want to just get two fingers in there and just pull like that. And that's it. And now if you zoom in, what we're going to do is we're going to remove these two Torx screws here. You've got one here, and then you've got one back down there behind the actuator. This one I found, you've got to watch that screw, because unless you have a magnetic drill bit, it's going to basically fall down into the truck. Luckily mine fell through earlier, so I was managed to retrieve it. So let's go ahead and just remove this first one here at the bottom. So there we go. That's that one, and it's a star key head, as I call them, or in England they call them star keys. So we're going to put that over there in that box there, and then we're going to do the top one, which is back down here, which is a little more tricky. Got to try and get in the hole, and then when it comes out, you've just got to be real careful with it. Like I said, having a magnetic drill bit is going to be a lot easier and a lot more reliable, but mine aren't, unfortunately my tips aren't magnetic. So anyway, we'll put that in the box safely over here for later. And then to actually remove the lamp, what you want to do is you want to get your hands on either side like so, and just press together, pull back, just give it a bit of a wiggle, and it just literally pops out on clips. So there's one at the bottom there, which for some strange reason I can't seem to figure out, wants to pop out with the actual clip. So, but it's easy to get off. Just use your panel popper, which I've got here. Just get that down up in there like that. Give it a bit of a wedge, and that pops back straight out like that. Pops straight back out, should I say? And you can just pop that back in, and it's back. So, and these will basically be what you use to align the light when you put it back in. Okay, so we're going to start with the reverse bulb, which is going to be this little beauty right here, this square one. And I've got the resistor in hand ready, and again that's a 50 watt 6RJ resistor. It's bi-directional, so it doesn't matter which way round to use it. And then we've got our wire taps. They're trying to get away from me. So anyway, so we're going to replace the reverse bulb first. We're going to pull that out and take out that horrible filament bulb. And then what we're going to do is on these, there's a little bit of tape around the end of the wire sheathing. And we're just going to strip that back a bit like that to the corner, and then we're just going to take this off like so. There we go, we don't need that, we can get rid of that. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to look for your outside wires. Let me turn this around a bit more so you can see it, and if you want to come a bit closer we can show the people. So here we have your positive wire. It's always going to be your coloured one, and then your negative wire is going to be the one on the outside. You've got three wires: positive, signal, and your negative. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to wire tap one end to your positive and one end to your negative. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. Excuse me, we're going to get these wire taps placed. Now you do have an option on wire taps. 3M also make a very, very nice wire tap that you can use for pretty much anything that comes loaded with weatherproof grease seal. Those I would have used, but I don't have any available, so I'm just going to go with these. And behind the headlights, tail lights here, they're pretty well protected from a lot of moisture, so you should be all right. And worst case scenario, if the light stops working or these start to corrode, you can very easily get yourself some 3M weatherproof ones and just swap them out. So anyway, we're just going to clamp this down like so. Sometimes it's a little bit harder to get to because you've got three wires there, but let's give it a good clamp down like that. So that's spliced into there nicely, and then just fold that clip over and seal that down. Now we're going to take our other end here. Now the thing about these resistors, I will tell you, is these will get very, very hot. What I've found is on the reverse light, they don't get hot because you're not in reverse for very long, so the bulb's not on for very long. Same with your signal bulb. When you're turning, it's you know, instantaneous. It's a pulse. It's not going to heat this resistor up. The ones that will get hot are going to be your stop brake bulb. That is going to get very hot. They suggest mounting these on metal. There is plenty of room, but I don't really feel like drilling into the car, to be honest. So what I do is I will literally zip tie them to the existing wiring loom and basically hover them so that they're not touching anything. I have them in my other Tahoe, which is a 2015 LTZ. I actually have them 3M taped to the light housing, which is, you know, hardened plastic. And I've so far never had a problem in 6 years. They've never melted anything or caught fire. So, but you could do what you want with them. If you want, you know, you can extend the wires and maybe mount them somewhere else that's metal down the side or whatever you want to do. But for me, I just, like I said, I hover them with some zip ties on the existing wiring, make sure, you know, nothing's touching. So let's go ahead and get this last clip on. On the outside wire, you don't want to do the middle wire. Can you see, babe?
Yeah, it's really hard to get.
Come over my shoulder here. So, woo! So here we'll just apply the clip to the negative wire. It can be a little tricky because they don't exactly give you tons of wiring to work with. So we get that in line there. Let's get the other end of this resistor and bring that up. Like so, push that in there so it's next to the existing wire. And our neighbour's dog apparently wants to get in on the action. I put these a little further down away from the existing you know, connection, which is up here. So let's go ahead and clamp that down. Sometimes it takes a little bit of pressure to get these to pinch down, but once you've got them on, it's not a problem. So, and then with this loom cover, you can kind of do what you want with it. I personally just kind of snip it off, or just lay it in there like that. I mean, you can snip the excess off down to there. These are not going to, you know, corrode or anything or get damaged by the weather. So if we get our new bulb and pop that little bad boy in there. Now you do have to be careful with these LED lights because these circuit boards can be pretty fragile, but these are extremely high quality. So we'll go ahead and get this in. Always have problems with this. So go ahead and get that in like that, and that's it. That is literally it. That's all you need to do. It's really not a major job. I think doing both sides, you're probably looking at an hour and a half tops. You know, if you're not familiar with cars, maybe 2 hours. But you know, I think this is, you know, it's the best way to do it. And you know, now you have some nice, sparkling new LED bulbs for the back of your 2021 Tahoe. All right, brake lights. Okay, left turn signal. Right turn signal. Hazard lights. Reverse. Park. Brake light one more time. And there we go.